What is up, everybody? It's Cobes here, and today I'm back with a Fortnite video. In today's video, I will be ranking every single rare skin from worst to best. I want everyone to tell me what your favorite rare skin is and your least favorite is. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Also, before we get started with this, I wanted to say this isn't a perfect list. I feel like some skins probably fell a little bit lower than they should have on this list. But when you're dealing with so many skin sets, which is basically a similar skin but opposite genders, it's difficult to put them both way high up on the list, because I feel like then the skins that have their own design are gonna fall lower. So some of these, let's say I like the guy version more, he'll be higher up on the list, but the girl will be way lower, even if I like the skin. So let's start out at our number 33 spot. Well, there's technically 34. We have the Blue Squire and the Royal Knight. I just put them together. You can put one at 34, one at 33 if you really want, but I just don't feel like these skins will ever be good. Maybe in a couple seasons from now, maybe 3 or 4 seasons, which is in like a year, I'll start to like these skins because they'll have that really old kind of feeling towards this game, because these designs really don't stand the test of time in Fortnite for me. But I just personally don't like them. I think they're the worst in this game. Let's move on to our number 32 spot though. We have Midnight Ops. And you guys may totally disagree, but I would suggest if you bought them in the last 30 days, go and refund them as soon as possible. I have said this before, I'll say it again, I'll probably say it in the future 100 times before I die. But Midnight Ops is the ugliest character in this game by far. His face is so ugly. I mean, his character design, it's not terrible, but I can't pry my eyes away from that fucking face. It's so ugly. I don't understand it. At my number 31 spot though, I gave it to the Recon Scout. And this one, I could see if you liked it. It's just not my type, really. I feel like the goggles, if they're on the back of his head, maybe they would look a bit cooler, but you can't really see him when you're like actually using him, because you're gonna be looking at the back, not the front. So that's kind of why I gave him the number 31 spot. But moving on to our number 30 and 29 spot, I gave it to the Radiant Striker at number 30 and Brilliant Striker at number 29. I honestly used to love these skins. I thought they were so creative because they do slightly change colors. Maybe not even change colors, but they get a little bit brighter, then they get a little bit duller. So honestly, if they added a skin that was similar to this, but it was like a rainbow themed skin where it was changing rainbow colors, I feel like that could be cool. Maybe with a llama head, I would love to see that. Something insane. But for these, I just don't like them as much as I used to. I feel like I have more of a rational opinion, because before I really liked them because they were changing colors, quote unquote, but right now I've seen through that. They're not all that good. At my number 28 spot though, I had to give it to the Chromium. And see, this is one that may have fallen a little bit far down on this list. I do like this skin. I just like the guy version a little bit more. I really do like the chrome skin and then the orange hair on top. That looks pretty funny, honestly. And she does look badass, don't get me wrong. I think the guy just looks more badass, and that's the design I feel like they were trying to go for. So it worked out better for him instead of her. At my number 27 spot, we have the Brawler. And I said I changed my mind on this skin. I really have. I think it's an alright skin. It's just not my favorite. It has a kind of weird skin design. The hat definitely looks a lot different than any skin you'll be looking at in this game. So I think that's cool. But besides that, it's just alright. At my number 26 spot, I gave it to the Arctic Assassin. You guys maybe totally agree or disagree with this one. I don't know. I'm assuming most people will disagree just because it's so far down on this list. But I do like the guy version a lot more. So for me, Arctic Assassin, a really nice skin, really great design. I love the goggles, I love the skin color. The black, I think it's black, gray, and white throughout the skin. I think that looks amazing. But other than that, I feel like I really couldn't place anyone else that low on this list. At my number 25 spot, I give it to the First Strike Specialist. And for me, this one's an upgraded version of the Recon Scout. He actually has the goggles placed on his face. I think that makes him look a little bit better. They're actually placed over his eyes, they're not just on his head. So at my number 24 spot, I gave it to the Snorkel Ops. And for me, this is just an alright skin. I would say half of these are just alright. You know, they're tolerable. I would say unlike legendary skins, which can either be horrible or they can be really great, for me, for the most part, I think rare skins are either great or they're just, you know, they're alright. You know, you tried. I like the simple designs more often in this game anyways. But Snorkel Ops, she's alright. I think her colors are good. At my number 23 spot, I gave it to the Triple Threat. And for me, the Triple Threat is just a little bit worse than the Jump Shot. So the Jump Shot will be later on in this list. I feel like he's a lot better. As a basketball player, he looks better. He kind of looks like LeBron James. So I don't really feel like Triple Threat necessarily fits this design. Oddly enough though, Dazzle fits the basketball theme design very well. Maybe it's because of the headband and the ponytail. I don't know exactly. But Triple Threat, not my favorite, but it's alright for sure. At my number 22 spot, I gave it to Special Forces. And this is a skin design that I do like. It's basically like Asian character in a black army suit, and I think this looks really nice. He has a similar hat to the Brawler, and I know I'm like stumbling over my words a bit, but there's so many different rare skins. I'm trying to remember which ones I've already talked about. But overall, this guy, I would say probably an upgraded version of the Brawler. His skin looks a lot better because it's all black. It really is a badass design. At my number 21 spot, I gave it to the Recon Expert. I felt like I should just give her this spot for at least the rarity aspect of her. She's super rare, you can't get her anymore. She does have a bucket hat, and that's the only girl skin with a bucket hat. Overall, she does look good, I think, and maybe it's because of the rarity, maybe not. I don't know exactly. But moving on to another rare skin at our number 20 spot, we have the Aerial Assault Trooper. And for me, this one I feel like is a good number 20 spot. I don't feel like I should have placed him any higher than this. He is super rare, but is his skin design any better than any of these above him? I would say no, personally. I like him, but just not enough to really put him any higher up on this list. And the rarity may have played a small factor for where he landed. Maybe it'd be lower if he wasn't so rare. I don't know exactly, but an alright skin design. In my number 19 spot, I gave it to the Codename Elf. And this is a skin I actually own. It is very rare at this point because you can't buy any Christmas outfits. I wish I would have bought more, but I think this guy does have a pretty nice design. For me, I used them for like 2 days straight and I kind of got sick of them. Maybe that's why he's lower on this list. I don't know exactly, but I really do like this skin design even if I am sick of them. At my number 18 spot, I gave it to Cypher, and Cypher is a really nice skin. I really do think so. She is similar to the Circuit Breaker. I think at first I really liked her design a lot more than Circuit Breaker, but nowadays I think the Circuit Breaker overall, he was the OG one, and I really like his blonde hair. It makes him stand out a lot more than Circuit Breaker in my opinion. But Circuit Breaker overall, Cypher overall, a good skin. At my number 17 spot, I gave it to Hyperion, and this really is a good skin, guys. I really do like Hyperion and Dazzle. So I'm glad he made it at least to the number 17 spot, but he couldn't make it any higher because Dazzle's already way high up on this list. So moving on, we have at our number 16 spot, the Red-Nosed Raider. And I feel like I could have put this one way higher up, but the design, it is cool. I think it really is because she does have the reindeer antlers, and I think that's cool. It's creative. I love her Christmas sweater, but overall, she just doesn't beat out anyone above. I think at this point in the list, I would say once we hit our number like 19 spot with Codename Elf, all these skins I like. None of them I dislike. But at my number 15 spot, I gave it to the Blue Team Leader. I know this is a skin a ton of people have. Maybe that's why it's lower on this list than it would have been. But I really do like this design. I think the blue color really makes her stand out, and I love beanies on any sort of character. I may be rushing through these, but we do have a lot to talk about. At my number 14 spot, I gave it to the Survival Specialist. And for me, this is like an upgraded version of the Special Forces. I think on the girl skin, it does look a lot better, and she has just a regular like baseball cap on. Or maybe it's an army cap, I don't know exactly. That would make more sense because she's like Special Forces counterpart. So I could see it being that case as well. Maybe she's like some sort of spy. I don't know exactly, but she does look badass and definitely better than Special Forces. At my number 13 spot, we have a completely different skin. We have the Bright Bomber. And the Bright Bomber is very overrated in my opinion. I still love this skin, don't get me wrong, but the amount of people who love this skin, it's mind-boggling. I really don't know why. Maybe it's the rainbow color, maybe it's the pink hair, but those are the reasons I like her. That's probably why everyone else likes her as well. Maybe she's thick or something, I don't know. At my number 12 spot, I give it to Absolute Zero. So this is Arctic Assassin's counterpart. And I think this guy skin looks a lot better. He does have long hair, and I currently have long hair, so maybe that's why I gave him such a high spot on this list. I do like his design. I already talked about Arctic Assassin, so if you want to go listen to why I like this design. Shades, the color scheme, long hair, looks good. At my number 11 spot, I gave it to the Circuit Breaker. We already kind of talked about this one, but the goggles on him, the bright yellow hair or blonde hair, yellow, blonde, same thing, and then the red all over his body. Looks amazing. At my number 10 spot, I give it to the Jump Shot. And the Jump Shot, I already talked about it, but it is better than Triple Threat in my opinion. I think, oh my god, how many times have I said my opinion? But I am going to be saying my opinion or opinion maybe 10,000 times, maybe 100,000 times for 100,000 subscribers. So get me there, guys. I will be doing that. Jump Shot, he is the better basketball player. He does look better as a basketball player as well. And I like that he actually has some tattoos on him. At my number 8 spot, I give it to Diecast. And I know this is a fairly new skin, but I really do think his chrome design is very slick and clean. It's not like the Nightlight or Light Show, which are just all over the place, like just a little bit too colorful. They tried with those skins, but I feel like they tried as well with this skin. It's just a sleeker design overall. And I love his aggressive army look he has. At my number 7 spot, I gave it to Infiltrator. And this one, it's a guy with long hair with a bucket hat. What can I really say? I think his color scheme works perfectly as well. At my number 6 spot, for a skin I rarely talk about, Sass Sergeant. I really do like this skin. I used to want to be a park ranger for a little bit, maybe for like a couple months. I really thought I would be a park ranger. Like that's really what I wanted to do. But now I'm just making these shit YouTube videos, so what's better? I don't know. But they just don't make enough money. Come on, buddy. Yeah, guys, can we start a revolution where park rangers make more money than the average human? At least that. They should at least be making a couple mil a year. Let me work at the fucking Grand Canyon, honestly. Let me do that, please. That would be amazing. You know what? If I make enough money from YouTube, I will do that. I don't give a shit. I'll fucking go to school. I think you have to go to school for a couple of years or some bullshit, and I'll get that job. So, guys, if you're ever at the Grand Canyon, you might see me there. I promise you. At my number 5 spot though, I gave it to Desperado. And Desperado is basically the upgraded version of Infiltrator. I really like this design as well. I like the black and red colors. Nothing really much else I have to say about it. At my number 4 spot, I gave it to the Renegade Raider. You guys may disagree with this choice, but I think whenever I see this in gameplay, it's such a cool character design. I actually was able to use this, and it does look just as good in game as it does in our thoughts. I really think that. Maybe it's because, you know, I knew it was just temporary that I was using this skin, but I really did love using it. At my number 3 spot, I give it to the Recon Specialist. Guys, the Recon Specialist is better than the Blue Team Leader in my opinion. I know I've said the opposite, but the more and more I think about it, the Recon Specialist has that more dark and edgy vibe to her than the Blue Team Leader, and I feel like that's what the character design looks like and should be. So that's why. At my number 2 spot, I gave it to Munitions Expert. And Munitions Expert, beautiful skin. I love it. Overall, beautiful, wonderful, amazing. if you're looking for an army skin, you gotta go with this one. Trust me, if you want an army skin in this game, go with Munitions Expert over any. You could go with Diecast. I think he's a good army skin. Other than that, what's in like the top 10 that's an army? I think those are the only two. But great skins, guys. Really great. Munitions Expert. I love her. And my number one spot needs no introduction. We have the Dazzle. And this still is my favorite rare skin. One of my favorites in this game. Not my favorite overall. I would definitely put it in top 3 though. Maybe I'll save the other 2 for live streams that I gotta say 1,000 times, or for a video later on. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you did enjoy. Tell me your favorite rare skins. This was a long video. Holy shit. We're pushing maybe, I don't know, I messed up one time. Maybe we're pushing like 16, close to 17 minutes. Jesus Christ. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any video ideas, leave them in the comment section. Drop a like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.